Omagyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmitanyena Tasmai Shri Guru. So we're continuing with our study discussion of Śaraṇāgati. We're slowly coming closer to the beginning. We're still going through the introductory material. And I think we're almost finished, right? Maybe there was a little bit left.
Yeah, I think we finished with the Mangala Charanam. We are starting the Śaraṇāgati, the actual book. I'll share the screen, yeah.
Okay.
What is this going on here? Sorry, just a second. Give me a second here. I don't know.
Oh, I forgot to mention Ananda. He knows Spanish. He's also in our bilingual group here. Although his Spanish is a little Chicano, as they say. And I don't know who else are linguists. Oh, Tungaras, of course, Norwegian. And Russian in English.
Can you see the?
Yes, we can see, yeah.
Okay.
So we began going, did we come to here? We finished the previous section.
Yeah, we finished the preface by Srila Sridhar Maharaj.
Okay. Oh, wow. So we're actually beginning. Oh, yeah, we
are, yeah,
that's
you played
right.
this song, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, okay, so we listened to the song and we didn't go through the translation.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're actually, well, we're kind of there, not quite. We're still like in the like beginning part, you could say. So Mangala Charan. So this is like a tradition, right? In Vaishnava compositions, there's always, and it's in line with the devotional mood, right? At the start of anything, and we're always starting with the prayer, to our divine guardians, invoking their rays. So this Mangala Charan, invocation of auspiciousness. Mangal is auspiciousness. So he's starting out, describing. Well, we'll hear what he's going to describe. Here's Giridhari Prabhu. So this song, we could say, is summarizing what is Śaraṇāgati. It's a summary of what is Śaraṇāgati, surrender, and why it is important. Right. And this song we actually sing every day, every morning in our temples, and in our in our Navadvipma, the three main morning songs after the morning aratis and the morning parikrama. Then these three songs, these were like the principal songs that would be sung. Samsada Dava by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, prayer to Guru. Then this song, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jiva Daya Kodi. And then the third, Bhajare Amar. Those were kind of like the staple three songs. So this is one of those. And so it shows, Srila Sridhar Maharaj selected this to be sung every morning. So it shows how important this song is for us. So we can go through this verse by verse, and this is Bengali, and this is a very nice addition because it's including the Bengali script. You can follow if you want. We have our copies of Śaraṇāgati. So Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jiva Doya Koni Swa Parshada Suya Dhamma Saha Avatani. Being merciful to the soul, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends with his associates and abode. So it's a little confusing, the layout here. So we have here the word for, there's the Bengali, right? Bengali script, then there's the Roman transliteration, then we have the word for word, and then we have word for word transliteration, and then we have the English translation. And then on this bottom layer, this is Srila Sridhar Maharaj's Laghu Chandrika Bhasya. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj's commentary on these verses. And this is the wealth of this special edition that we have. Srila Sridhar Maharaj is drawing out the deeper meaning of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's expressions, and also pointing out the scriptural references that are behind them. So it makes this whole experience much richer. Okay, so Sri Krishna, being merciful to the souls, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descends with his associates and abode. So the Lord never goes anywhere alone. He always travels with his eternal paraphernalia, and that includes his divine abode, his dham, and his parshad, swa parshad, his eternal associates. And avatadi, this is avatadi is referring to descending, right? Like the word avatar, one who descends. And then we have Srila Sridhar Maharaj's comments here. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the sannyas name of Sri Gaur Sundar. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya uses this name in his prayers to the Lord. Kalan nashtam bhakti yogam nijamya pradushkartam Krishna Chaitanya nama avirbhutas tasya padada vinde gadam gadam liyatam chitta bringaha. There's Radhana Rupini. And that, happy to have you with us, Stevie. Do you want to scroll down, Subhasini? So I'm going to continue with this bottom layer here, continuing with the commentary. So this is the translation of that verse by Sarvabhauma. May the honey bee of my heart be ever more deeply attached to the lotus feet of he who has now appeared as Sri Krishna Chaitanya to revive the practice of devotion to himself, which had become lost due to the influence of time. So, this analogy of, honeys and honeys, sounds a little strange, honey and bees is frequently used in Vaishnava literature, because the sweetness of the Lord is compared to honey, and the Vaishnavas are compared to bees, who are tasting that honey. And our Guru Dev, he mentioned, we don't want to be a fly, that is, attracted to the dirt, but we want to be honeybees that are attracted to the honey. Let's keep our attention there, go towards that. So, and this name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, right, as Srila Sridhar Maharaj mentions, this is the sannyas name of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before that, he was Nimai Pandit, right? That was his family name, or how he was, known. What was his family name, actually? Bhatta Jagannath Mishra was Mishra, I guess, right? Mishra was his family name, but he was known as Nimai Pandit, scholar. He was a great Sanskrit scholar. And Nimai was his given name. He was born under a neem tree. And
also Vishwambar, right? Vishwambar.
That's right. Vishwambar is also one of his given names, right? So some names refer to Mahaprabhu pre-sannyas and some refer to him post-sannyas. And you'll notice on our altars, we never worship him post-sannyas. That's an important point. So actually, we never worship Sri Krishna Chaitanya on our altars. We always worship, Vishwambar, Nimai Pandit, because it is painful for the elevated devotees to see him in that sannyas vesh. And this name, Srila Sridhar Maharaj has pointed out this name, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. It's a very special name. He described it as an ontological expression, because what his name actually means, Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya's consciousness. So his what was his sannyas guru's name again? Keshava Bharati. Keshava Bharati. He had this inspiration, right? You will arouse Krishna consciousness in all the souls, so your name will be Shri Krishna Chaitanya. It's inspiration. And so this composition, Srila Sridhar Maharaj is citing, this is part of, I believe it was a composition of like 100 verses, right? That Sarvabhauma composed after his heart had been melted by Mahaprabhu's association. He wrote these, it's like 100 or so verses, which became famous throughout Jagannath Puri. And this is one of them. And there are two in particular which are quite famous, and this is one of them. So we can, I'm sorry, I didn't realize Srila Sridhar Maharaj is saying some of these things here. It's commentary. In Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sri Gaur Sundar, so Gaur Sundar, another name, golden, beautiful, golden beauty. Sri Gaur Sundar Sannyas ceremony is described. We have a second, we brought back a new copy.
Right.
Oh, you don't want to open it? Okay. Sri Gaur Sundar Sannyas ceremony is described. Jata Jagatere Tun Krishna Bolaila Koraila Chaitanya Kirtana Prakashila Ete Tomar Nam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sarvalok Toma Hoite Jate Danya. Keshava Bharati said, you have induced the whole world to chant Krishna's name and brought everyone to life, Chaitanya, by inaugurating the Sankirtan movement. Therefore, your name will be Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Because of you, everyone in the whole universe has become fortunate. Inomate Sanyas Kaliya Prabodhanya Prakashila Atmanam Shri Krishna Chaitanya. In this way, the Lord gloriously accepted sannyas and revealed his name, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So the next phrase, we're still going through the first verse, Swaparshad, right? That first verse is describing how Mahaprabhu descends with his associates and his abode. So Swaparshad, his associates, this means his servants, as is implied in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan, Pitrin Yanti Pitrivataha, Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja, Yanti Ma Yajino Pimam. Those who are devoted to the demigods go to the realm of the demigods. Those who are devoted to the ancestors go to the realm of their ancestors. Those who are devoted to ghosts and spirits go to the realm of such beings. And those who are devoted to me will come to me, reside in my abode. Okay, I'm going to ask a test question here for everyone except Suvasini Vidu. Can anyone tell of a special occasion when someone quoted this verse to our Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj? I'll give you a hint. The person who quoted it to him was Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. There was a special Giridhari Prabhu. I bet you can remember this. Oh, Dana's also joined us. Welcome, Dana. Do you remember Giridhari Prabhu?
No, I could guess, but I don't actually know.
Okay. Any other offers? So this, do you remember Kanimpi, this verse? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I've heard.
Do you remember the story behind? No. Okay, well, you'll remember now. It's a very charming history. It was at the time when our Gurudev would spend a few months of the year at this second residence of Swami Maharaj on Sita Kanta Banerjee Lane, because Swami Maharaj gave the upper floor of his second residence to Srila Sridhar Maharaj to use it for his, like a branch of Calcutta preaching. And so Gurudev would spend some months there in a year, go out every day, collection, preaching. Srila Swami Maharaj would give him Bhagavad Gita lessons personally every morning. and so our Gurudev would go out, and he's like young man, 18 years old. You remember? You remember Kanuvir? Okay, Kanuvir remembers. Yeah. And so our Gurudev, he would come across all kinds of situations in the course of his preaching on the streets, right? Meet all kinds of people. Maybe Marie remembers. Yeah, that's right. Marie knows the story. Marie knows too. Yeah, so there were some followers of Ma Kali, who challenged him, and Tungarasa remembers too. See, you all know. Well, now you'll remember what the verse was too. This is the verse. And so they would challenge him, right? And our Gurudev didn't know how to respond. Now, why should we worship Krishna? And so he asked Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada for advice. And he quoted this verse and saying, if you want to worship Mother Kali, that's fine. But remember, if you worship Mother Kali, you'll go to the abode of Mother Kali. And Mother Kali, she's a very friendly young woman. She wears, garlands of skulls, from her disciples, and she lives, surrounded by ghosts and goblins and all kinds of charming creatures. And sometimes she'll cut the neck of her followers, and all kinds of wonderful things go on there. So if you like, you can worship her, and finally you'll go to her abode. Or you can worship Krishna and just see our Krishna. He has many beautiful girlfriends. He likes to play in the Vrindavan forest, and he loves butter and so many milk products. He's always surrounded by those, and he always likes to play with his devotees. So you can decide, it is up to you. You could make your choice. So it's a very thought-provoking verse. It's kind of like, you take responsibility, like who you worship, that's what you will become, that's where you will go. So really think about this. Do you want to add any details to that, Suhasini? Do you?
No, that's fine. He'll also say, oh, you can eat sandesh and everything, if you worship Krishna, like that. Something like that.
Yes. Okay, so then the next phrase here from that first verse, Dham, abode. This means the spiritual domain of the Lord. Krishna describes his abode in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Na tad basayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yadgatva na nivartante tadam paramam mama. Having reached my supreme abode, which cannot be illuminated by the sun, the moon, or fire, anything material, the surrendered souls never return to this mundane world. Now, this is quite a often quoted verse, by our gurus. That divine plane is so bright, so pure, it cannot be illuminated by any of the light, this world. And then the second line is also significant, right? Once you enter that plane, you will never return. There is the plane of no return. There's no coming back once you gain entrance there. And then the next phrase, Atyanta. Oh, yes, sorry. Now we're going on to the second verse. Yeah, thank you. So moving on to the second verse. Atyanta Durlabha prema puribade dana shikaya sharanagati bakatera dana. And by the way, in our yellow kirtan guide, there's a serious typo, and this atyanta is, they've slipped an N in there, and it says antyanta. So all the devotees in our mission across the world, when they sing this song, they say antyanta, which I don't even know. I don't know if that means anything. Hopefully not, because it would be worse if it meant something. So it's so if you have your yellow kirtan guide, please correct it. It's atyanta. So this word atyanta, it means extremely, right? Durlabha, rare. And that word durlabha, we come across in Bhaja Huremana, right? So that word may ring a bell with some of you. Having attained this rare human birth, right? Durlabha manava janma. So, but what is being described as rare here? Prema. So Mahaprabhu has descended so mercifully into this world. For what purpose? To distribute this kuri bare dana, referring to giving, distributing, this extremely rare, it's not just rare, it's extremely rare, prema. But then how is that possible? How can the souls be qualified to receive this gift? Through Śaraṇāgati. So Shikaya, he's instructing Śaraṇāgati, spreading the teachings of Śaraṇāgati, surrender. Bhakatera pran, which is the life pran, the life force of the Bhakatera, the devotees. Right. Śaraṇāgati is the life of devotion. Right. The Śaraṇāgati is the life of all of our devotional activity, all of our devotional practices, hearing, chanting, worshiping, praying, and so on. They're only valuable as much as they are based on the spirit of, coming from the spirit of Śaraṇāgati. So otherwise it's like that analogy is given in the scriptures, without devotion, so many wonderful qualities, they're like ornaments on a dead body, right? So in the same way, this spirit of Śaraṇāgati is the life force of our devotional practice. It is the very life of it. So to distribute the most rare form of prema, he teaches Śaraṇāgati, which is the life of the devotees. So we're going to scroll down to Srila Sridhar Maharaj's comments on this second verse. Suvasini, do you want to read that?
Yes, yeah, okay. Atyanta Durlabha Prema, the most rare form of prema. This refers to the fifth ultimate end of human life, Sri Krishna Prema. The rarity of Sri Krishna Prema has been noted by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Jnanataha sulabha mukti bhukti yajnadi punyataha seyam sadhana sahasrair hari bhakti sudurlabha. Shiva says, liberation, moksha, is easily attained by cultivating knowledge of Brahma, Gyan. Heavenly enjoyment, bhukti, is easily attained by performing various types of pious activities, karma, such as sacrifices. However, even by following thousands of different spiritual practices, Hari Bhakti is extremely difficult to attain, as it requires servitude to the Lord's pure devotees, a proper conception of the Lord's divine nature, firmly fixed loving attachment for the Lord, devoid of any impurities, asakti, and the Lord's merciful acceptance of the practitioner. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 1.4, this most rare form of prema which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute is described as follows. Anarpita charim chirat karunaya vatirnaha kalau samarpayitum unnatojvala rasam svabhakti shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipitaha Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratuvaha Sachi Nandanaha. May the radiant golden Lord Sri Sachi Nandan always be manifest in the core of your heart. He mercifully descended in the age of Kali to give the wealth of devotion to himself, a supremely exalted Madhura Rasa which had never been given before. Śaraṇāgati, surrender. This means to take shelter of the Lord in all respects. Śaraṇāgati is defined in essence in Sri Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam. Bhagavat Bhaktitaha Sarvam Mit Utsrijya Viderapi Kainkaryam Krishna Padaika Shriyatvam Śaraṇāgati. Having faith that everything is attained by serving the Supreme Lord, abandoning subservience to even scriptural injunctions and taking shelter of Sri Krishna's feet exclusively is known as Śaraṇāgati. So that's the second.
I've always appreciated when I see Vaishnavas citing their own writing, because then it must be good, right? Because Kaviraj Goswami also does that sometimes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's quoting from many different places, quoting from Bhagavatam, from the Upanishads, quoting from, writings of, Rupa Goswami and other acharyas. But in a few cases, he quotes his own writing from his composition, Govinda Lilamrita. Then it's good, right? Because he's not doing it to showcase his own work. He's doing it because it's the best example of best representation of what he's trying to say, right? And so here Srila Sridhar Maharaj also, he's quoting from his own work, Prapanna Jivanamrita. So that shows you how much he appreciates this this verse, this Bhagavad Bhakti Ta Sarvam. It's a wonderful verse. Our Gurudev held this verse in very high regard, and he once described it as, well, he said, if you will only take one verse from all the scriptures and put that into your heart, make it this verse. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj also himself, pointed this verse out to him. So it's a very, very important verse for us, summarizing it. And it's a very sweet verse too. Bhagavad Bhakti Ta Sarvam Ityuchi Javiderapi Kain Karyam Krishna Padaka. These three principles represent Śaraṇāgati. By service, by devotion to the Lord, everything will be fulfilled. To take shelter of Krishna's feet exclusively, and if necessary, right, in service to the Lord, to abandon even scriptural injustice. These 3 points. And our Gurudev, he also added a second interpretation of the second point, which gives us some relief that even if you're not qualified, if you're unable to follow scriptural injunctions, you won't be excluded, you won't be denied the gift of you won't be denied from practicing Śaraṇāgati. Then this verse, Anarpita Chidim Chira, this is one of 3 key verses in the very beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, which are describing, the the significance of Mahaprabhu's appearance in this world. Very key verse and very well known. I was very happy once. I was on a rickshaw, on like some back street. This is one of the wonderful things about being in Navadvip. Like, you know, I'm just on a back street and not like literally a back street in Navadvip. I was like, had some errand to do in town, and it was during the Gaur Purnima period. You know, it's like a week-long festival, and I passed by some tiny little, you know, there's like some local like neighborhood program going on in someone's like backyard, you know, and they've got big loudspeakers up, and it's like not a big thing, but you know, loudspeakers are becoming, I don't know about the rest of India, but in Bengal, it's like every time I go now the loudspeakers are getting louder, you know, and they seem to be becoming more freely accessible to all. You know. But their chant is on this one occasion, I was riding by in a rickshaw and they're blasting out, you know, this verse, you know, Anarpita Chidim Chirad Kurinai. And I'm thinking, where else? And this is why I keep coming back to Navadvip. Where else in the world can I just be? I go to town to do some printing and I get to hear someone's little neighborhood, you know, backyard program blaring out Chaitanya Charitamrita verses, you know. So this is a very special verse. This verse is by Rupa Goswami, isn't it? Is that right, Subhasindi? Or is that Kaviraj Goswami's own verse? I think this is Rupa Goswami's verse, isn't it?
Yeah, I was also about to ask you, actually, but it was one of the 3 verses. I don't know whether it's Kaviraj Goswami's verse. It's like
it's Rupa Goswami, and then one of them is Srup Damodar's, that the Shridhaya Pranaya Mahima. No, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikrutir Hladini Shaktir Asmad. I think that one's Srup Damodar. And then the other one is perhaps Rupa Goswami also. But we have to double check. But yeah, I think this Anarpita Chidim Chirat, it's from an invocation verse of Rupa Goswami, one of his compositions. You can check that. But what a wonderful verse, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
It's actually a benediction, right? Kaviraj Goswami is placing this verse here as a benediction upon the readers, and this is just like it's within the first 10 verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he's like blessing the readers. You know, may this beautiful golden Lord be manifest within the innermost core of your heart. And he has come to spread this Unutojvala Rasam, that's referring to, it literally means like shining rasa, referring to Madhura rasa, coming to give Anarpita Chidimja, which has not been given before. So Bhakti Shriya, his own bhakti, his own devotion. He's giving that. Okay, anything else to pull out, and should we go on to the next verse?
3 and 4.
Okay, so 3 and 4 here. So Doinya Atma. Sorry, sometimes I always go back and forth. Sometimes I have more Bengali pronunciation if it gets confusing to me, because Bengalis pronounce A's as O's. So Vasindi would probably say Dainya, but then Bengalis, they really go for the O sound, so they say Doinya. So you're not, both is correct, basically. Doinya Atma Nivedan Goptritve Varan Avasha Rakshibe. Bengalis say Rakibe. They don't pronounce that S. Avasha Rakshibe Krishna Vishvasa Palan. Bhakti Anukula Macha Karjana Svikara. Bhakti Pratikula Karjana Vikara. So now, so we're told in the previous verse, right? Mahaprabhu is descended and he's distributing these teachings of Śaraṇāgati. Now he's breaking down what is this Śaraṇāgati in more detail. And it's described as being composed of these 6 limbs, right? 6 aspects comprise Śaraṇāgati. And so these verses are outlining those 6. So Donya, Dainya, that is humility, Atmani Vedan, self-giving or self-submission as it's given here. Goktitve Varan, means to accept the Lord as one's guardian. Right? We usually render it as embracing the Lord's guardianship. And then the third one here, it's confidence in the Lord's protection, and it's expressed here, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwasa Palan, to maintain the faith that certainly Krishna will protect me. And then the 5th one, Bhakti, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Bhakti Anukul. Anukul is what is favorable to Bhakti, to Matra, only Karjera Swikar, to accept that. So acceptance of the favorable. Then Bhakti Pratikul, these are 2 helpful words to remember. Anukul and Pratikul. What is favorable? What is helpful? What is unfavorable? What is unhelpful? So to reject, you have the mood of rejecting that which is unfavorable. So I'll read this translation. Humility, self-submission, embracing the Lord's guardianship, maintaining the faith that Krishna will certainly protect me, engaging only in activities which are favorable to devotion, and rejecting everything unfavorable to devotion. See if we have some commentary on that. This is very beautiful. So here Srila Sridhar Maharaj is referencing his own verse again. Beautiful verse at the beginning of the section on humility and Prapana Jivanamrita. So 3 to 4, Dainya, humility. This is also known as Karpanya, experience of one's lamentable condition. Doinya has been defined in Shri Prapana Jivanamrita. Bhagavan Raksha Rakshaivam. So at the beginning of each chapter and each limb of the Śaraṇāgati, Srila Sridhar Maharaj has a verse of his own, which is summarizing the essence of that limb. So these are the ones describing the spirit of humility. Bhagavan Raksha Rakshaivam Arta Bhavena Sarvataha Ashamurdva Daya Sindur Hare Karunya Vaibhavam Smaratam Cha Visheshena Nijati Shocha Nichatam Bhaktanam Arti Bhavastu Karpanyam Katyate Udai. O Lord, please protect me, protect me. Oh Lord, please protect me, protect me. Praying thus in a mood of distress, while remembering in all respects the greatness of the mercy of the Supreme Lord, the unparalleled ocean of compassion, and remembering in particular one's own most lamentable lowliness. This condition of the devotees is described by the learned as Karpanya. So, like in a sense, real humility is a result of having true darshan, like having real vision, real experience, real revelation, real connection of the Lord, of the Vaishnavas. Humility is the outcome of that, like coming within the proximity of that, right? As Srila Sridhar Maharaj says, the outcome or proximity to greatness. Then this feeling of humility descends or is awakened within one. This is very beautiful. It's, oh Lord, please protect me, protect me. Praying thus in a mood of distress while remembering in all respects the greatness of the mercy of the Supreme Lord, the unparalleled ocean of compassion, and remembering in particular one's own most lamentable lowliness. This condition of the devotees is described by the learned. And the next phrase here, Atma Nivedan, self-submission, self-giving, self-surrender. This is also known as Atmotsarga, self-dedication, and has been defined in Sri Sri Prabhupada Jivanamritam. Krishna yarpita dehasya nirmamasya nahankrite manasas tat sarupatvam vritam atma nivedanam. Atma nivedan is known as the condition of having offered oneself to Krishna solely to satisfy him, while being devoid of possessiveness and false egotism. Then the next limb of surrender, Goptrichevaran, embracing the Lord's guardianship. This is also referred to as accepting the Lord as one's maintainer, and has been defined in Sri Sri Prabhupada Jivanamrita. Hey Krishna pahi mam na kripayat magatam kuru ityevam partanam Krishnam praptam swami sarupataha. Goptritve varanam geyam bhakti hridya taram param prapatye kartakatvena tadangitvena tatsmutam. O Krishna, please protect me. O Lord, kindly accept me as your own. This prayer to attain Shri Krishna as one's master is supremely pleasing to the hearts of the devotees and is known as Goptriche Vadanam, embracing the Lord's guardianship. Goptriche Vadanam expresses the very ideal of surrender and is thus considered to be its complete embodiment, Angi. The other 5 aspects of Śaraṇāgati are considered limbs, Angas. So this has been particularly pointed out by Jiva Goswami and other acharyas, embracing the Lord, accepting the Lord as one's guardian. This is the main mood of Śaraṇāgati, to simply raise our arms, Lord, I'm yours. That's a nice meditation. This is the main mood, and all these other limbs, they're supporting that central mood of Śaraṇāgati, that I am yours, I belong to you, please accept me, please take care of me. And the next, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will certainly protect me. This refers to the faith that Krishna will assuredly grant his protection and has been defined in Sri Sri Prabhupada Jivanamrita. Rakshishati himam Krishno bhaktanam bandhavascha sa shemam udasya titiya vishvaso chaivagrihate. Certainly Krishna will protect me because he is the true friend of the devotees. He will definitely bless me with all good fortune. Herein such faith is sustained. Then the next phrase here, anukul, favorable. This refers to anything helpful for attaining Krishna and has been defined in Sri Sri Prabhupada. Krishna Karishna Sadbhakti Prapanatvanukulake Krityatva Nishchayas Chanukulya Sankalpa Uchyate. Resolute conviction to do everything that is favorable to the service of Krishna, to the service of his devotees, and to surrender is called Anukulyasya Sankalpa, acceptance of the favorable. So this phrase is very nice, resolute conviction. And Suvasini, maybe we can ask you, as I understand this word sankalpa, like we translate it as acceptance, but in Sanskrit the meaning is deeper than that, isn't it? Sankalpa, isn't that something like a vow? Like it's kind of like a serious
Yeah, it's kind of like I make this like before you start any worship, they make a sankalpa. They say sankalpa. Yeah, it's like something more like resolute, that like a vow kind of thing. Yeah, it's like a vow. Yeah. A resolute determination or something like that. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, like a vow.
Intention, Jane is saying, well, more than that, it's more like a commitment. Yeah, commitment it sounds more a little more correct. Yeah, the word, it's normally translated in this passive way, acceptance, right? But it's more than that. It's a it's a promise, you know, it's a vow. So this, I mean, here it's expressed very nicely, this resolute conviction. Covenant, that sounds right. A covenant, right? That's a Christian term, isn't it? That sounds like an appropriate parallel. Yeah. Pratikul, unfavorable. This refers to anything that is an obstacle to attaining Krishna and has been defined in Shri Shri Prabhupada Jivanamritam. Bhagavad Bhakta Yor Bhakte Prapate Pratikulake Varjatve Nishtaya Pratikuya Varjan Uchate. Resolute conviction to abandon everything that is opposed to the service of the Lord, to the service of his devotees, and to surrender is called Pratikulya Varjanam, rejection of the unfavorable. Okay, Radhana Rupini, thanks for joining.
I think, yeah.
Okay, so verse.
So you have go back to 4, yeah.
Okay. It's a little confusing.
No, we did 4. Yeah, 3 and 4 together.
Yeah, so we're
Yeah.
on 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Kirit Hari Prabhu, do you want to read this one for us?
Yeah, I could try. Number 5.
Number 5, that's right.
Śaraṇāgati Haive Yahara Tahara Parthana Shuni Sri Nanda Kumara. Sri Nanda Kumara hears the prayers of one who surrenders in this sixfold way. Śaraṇāgati surrenders in this sixfold way. The 6 aspects of surrender are defined within Sri Vayu Purana and the Vaishnava Tantra. Anukulyasa Sankapa Pratikulya Varjanam Rakshishyatiti Vishvaso Goptritve Varnam Tatha Atmanikshepa Karpanyam Sadvida Śaraṇāgati. Accepting everything favorable, rejecting everything unfavorable, being confident that Krishna will grant his protection, embracing Krishna's guardianship, fully offering oneself to Krishna, and feeling oneself to be lowly are the 6 aspects of Śaraṇāgati. Parthana Shune. Sri Nanda Kumar hears their prayers. This means Krishna reciprocates with the surrendered souls in accordance with their prayers. A verse from Ramayana, Yuddha Kanda. Sakrid eva prapano yas tasmasmiti chadyashate abhyam sarvada tasmai dadyam iti vatram mama. Is that Ramachandra proclaims, anyone who even once sincerely surrenders unto me, declaring, I am yours, and prays for fearlessness, it is my vow that I will always grant that to them. That's it? Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And so that's a nice meditation, right? Because, you know, Krishna has many different aspects, also many different expansions, different moods, but it's very like very precise. The Krishna who's being described here, Nanda Kumar, means the son of Nanda Maharaj. It's very specific, right? This is referring to the Aprakrita Leela, right? Krishna in his Aprakrita human-like play, you know, posing as you know, a young boy, and you know, as a son, as a lover, as a younger brother, and so on, right? So this represents the sweetest, most intimate form of the Lord. And you know, that's the worshipable deity of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all of his followers. And so how can we approach, like, who does he hear? He doesn't hear everyone. That's what's being said here. right? He hears the shune, like he hears the prayers of those persons. Who? Those who are following Śaraṇāgati, these 6 limbs of Śaraṇāgati. He's hearing their prayers. So it's a something to contemplate, right? He has a, Krishna's delegating a lot of things, right? So if prayers are coming in another spirit, right? The implication is also on the other side, right? If prayers coming from the unsurrendered souls, he doesn't hear those prayers. There are different types of prayers, right? So he has some delegated representative who's dealing with those prayers. But this, we want to worship this Nanda Kumar, this very sweet aspect of the Lord. So we must cultivate the spirit of Śaraṇāgati. That is the only thing. Let's see. Do we have time for one more? Or maybe we're just about out of time. Oh, and this is a very nice prayer of Ramachandra Prabhu, and included in Prapana. Srila Sridhar Maharaj includes in Prapana Jivanamrita also. It's a very very heartwarming, very comforting. It gives a lot of solace, right, to the devotees. That this is a firm vow, rata, right? This word rata is vow. Anyone sacred means once, just once, comes to me, for shelter and says, it's just one time. I will always take care of them. And someone asked our Gurudev once, is this, who does this verse refer to? Is it referring to only really elevated souls? And our Gurudev said, no, this is referring to everyone. Once, right? And we have that fortune, in one moment of clarity, we make a sincere call to the Lord. He will always remember that. He will always keep some record of that, and he will give his divine shelter to us. We have a comment from Leela here. This also is not the only benediction where it is declared, we hear, so if this seems steep, there is other hope. Whoever would surrender to this process comes a sweet blessing of hearing us in this mood. Anyone else? Suvasini Didi, Devi Prabhu. Anyone else? Marie. Anyone else want to share any?
I just want to ask one small clarification. This verse, the 5, how do you pronounce this? Like Yahara and Tahara, I always, it's not very clear, this Bengali.
Really, yeah, in the way that I hear it, it's more or less like a long A. So it's just, you see, because that Chandra Bindu, right, it's not so easy to make in typesetting. And in the ISKCON, maybe now ISKCON does it, but in the early books, instead of putting this Chandra Bindu, they would put, so they put their YAN and then N with a dot.
Yeah.
And so a lot of our devotees, they come around to Yanhara, right? And actually, the Bengalis pronounce it Jahar. So you have all these American devotees saying Yanhara, and the Bengali are saying the J, Jahar. It's just completely off. So the way that I hear it, it's just like that. If there's some subtle nuance, of course, and maybe there's some slight N sound, but you don't hear it. But so the safe way to say it is if you want to say it Bengali way, Jahar, right? Jahar. Now the one place where can you pass me the hard copy there? The one place where I do hear a slight N sound is in that Kandya, because that's also a Chandra Bindu. Yeah, so if you go to verse 7, That's also a Chandra Bindu. That Kandya. But I hear more of it when I hear Bengali say it. I hear more of a pronounced N. So I don't know if it's arbitrary. Kandya. I have to listen again. But generally, it's safe just to pronounce it as in like a long, like you would a long A. Tahar. It's also in that Gosai, right? So a lot of the Westerners, they say Gosani, but it's Gosai, right? Because they weren't putting the Chandra Bindu. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I hear a slight N sound in that sometimes, and so that's why.
Right. Yeah. Very
slight.
Yeah. We can, maybe we can actually play again. Well, maybe we should save it for next week. I don't want to go too much over time. Let's do that at the beginning of our meeting next week. Let's listen to the song. Like, let's also, we can learn a little Bengali, right? Why not? Talking about languages. In this Bengali this is Mahaprabhu's language. So it's not, this is our culture, Bengal is where our culture is, it's our place. So it's nice if we all brush up a little bit. So let's remember to do that for next week. We can listen, because that recording we have is actually sung by an authentic Bengali devotee, Kamal Krishna Prabhu. The recordings I have are a mix. Half of them are by Manasa Krishna from Australia, and half are by this Kamal Krishna, Bengali devotee. This song is sung by the Bengali devotee. So let's do that next week. We can listen to that. Okay. Well, it's been such a wonderful meeting. So we're ending on
verse 5.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right. So we finished on verse 5, and then that leaves us 2 verses, one last page in the hard copy here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, any last comments from anyone before we close for today? Okay. Well, thank you all for your wonderful association. Thank you, Subhasini Didi, for being our hostess. And look forward to meeting you all again next week.
Thank you, Ishaka. Thank you very much for your insights.
Thank you. Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deva Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Sri Hardev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Śaraṇāgati ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Thakur ki Jai. All the assembled devotees, sincere seekers ki Jai. Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Jai. Jai Gaur Prem. Hari Bol.
Vishaka Didi ki Jai.
Jai Subhasini Didi ki Jai.